Acoustic Guitar Forum. It's time for another one of Mythos 1979 short and informative video reviews. I'll also do a good write-up on this as well. This is the Yamaha SLG200N silent guitar, as it's called, for obvious reasons. It has no acoustic box of a body. It has onboard electronics, which has basically, it's a preamp, a volume, a pickup / mic blend. The mic is actually, the pickup is basically an undersaddle, I think PVO type pickup, and the mic, as it's called here, is basically the onboard acoustic modeling. It has treble, it has bass, it has an aux input for listening and playing along with a cell phone or something. It's got an onboard tuner, works on AA batteries. It has 2 reverbs and a chorus dial. Plugs into the back. Basically, this top bar comes off. You unscrew the strap holders. Have a knurled button underneath. It's all one unit. You unscrew those, and this just pops right off. It stores in this really nice bag, so it stores pretty small. The bag, relatively thick Cordura. It's got an inside pouch where the top arch goes, and then the rest of it goes there. And then it also has a nice, good size pocket on the outside, shoulder strap, carrying handles, top case handle. Pretty well made. More than enough for transporting this around. Obviously, because of the type of guitar it is, it doesn't really, you're not going to get body dings and that sort of thing. I decided to go with the Sunburst model, which I think is very attractive. I like the look of that. I also decided they make this in a steel string and a nylon. I went with a nylon model first, just because I was looking for something a little easier on my fingers, and I kind of wanted just to audition a nylon to see if I liked it. The bad part of that for me potentially was the very much wider nut width, which is on this is just, I think it's just over 2 inches, and then the wide string spacing. Also a very flat fretboard. I can say after playing it for about an hour now, that's not a problem at all. I find it very comfortable. I can even get over the top with my thumb without much of a problem. It's a short scale, like 20. It's like a little over 25, I think. But they moved the bridge so far back that it's still a very short, compact scale. Slotted headstock, obviously. I bought this primarily to have something to play at open mics where I would have an onboard preamp, tone shaping, and EQ that I don't have. When I take my K&K equipped Emeralds, I either have to bring my Boss VE8 or something, because as a fingerstyle player, they can never get, the most people running open mic PAs can't get the tone that sounds good for me, so I need to have something that'll shape my tone there. And then the other problem frequently, again, depending on equipment and the people running it, is feedback. Feedback is always, getting the guitar loud enough without having it feedback is always a problem at open mics, unless you happen to have a sound guy running it who really knows what he's doing, and that's extremely rare. So I figured something like this would check off a lot of boxes. It's nylon string, which is something I wanted to try. Has all the onboard stuff I need. Feedback shouldn't be a problem. So I'll eventually test that out. Very well made. Very nice, good looking, put together well. It's not too heavy. Obviously it's pretty light. It's not neck heavy. It doesn't dive on me. I haven't noticed. The only issue so far, and it was one I was aware of, is when you use a strap with these buttons tend to come loose. I mean, not so loose that this is going to pop off in any way, shape, or form, but they do loosen up a little bit. I thought about maybe throwing on a little really mild Loctite on the threads so they just grab a little bit better. The guy actually included some strap keepers on this. This actually has a button that faces out, so the strap hangs like this, which isn't the best for strap retention. So I used that one. There was one on here too, but this one isn't going anywhere. So I put that on there. So anyway, I've already tried this. I played it for about an hour now. I've tried it into the Bose S1. I tried it directly in. I tried using the Boss WL20 wireless system. It did work, even though this is an active system. It worked. There was no whine per se, but there was a lot of noise, excessive hiss once I got up above like 3/4, in the 3/4 area of the volume. The hiss got pretty loud with the Boss. I got some decent tone out of the Bose going straight in. I did have to go to the tone match vocal position and still really crank the treble quite a bit to get a what I would call a good tone, but it certainly was usable. I find that position-wise, this has a blend button which goes between what they call a pickup, which I believe is just an under-saddle piezo, and then mic, which is mic is actually an onboard amp modeling, acoustic amp model, basically. So I like it at about the 10 o'clock position, which is mostly pickup. Treble and bass are basically flat, and then the reverbs aren't too bad, and the chorus aren't too bad. They're not great. In a pinch, I'd use them, but certainly not as good as even like the onboard reverb of both the Bose S1 and the Boss VE8, which I use. After running straight into the Bose, I ran into the Boss VE8 with just the standard settings and EQ setup I have for my two Emeralds, which are K&K, and that sounded really good. I'm going to demo that. That sounded really good. So, you know, I think overall it's a winner. I like the feel of the nylon. I'm not finding any problem with the size of the nut. So I think probably that this will end up being a winner. So I'm going to pause the camera, turn it down to the other end, and I'll pick up in a minute. Close-up action. Guitar plugs in there. It's kind of an angled plug, like a Strat plug. There's the aux in for an MP3 player or whatever. Power, you can power it manually. Yeah. Be right back. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Takes a lot to change a man, hell, it takes a lot to try. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Nobody knows what awaits for the dead. Nobody knows what awaits for the dead. Some folks just believe in the things they've heard and the things they've read. Nobody knows what awaits for the dead. I'm glad I can't go back to where I came from. I'm glad those days are gone, gone for good. But if I could go back and bring some spirits where I live, you know I would, yes I would. Nobody speaks to God these days. Nobody speaks to God these days. I'd like to think He's looking down and laughing at our ways. Nobody speaks to God these days. When I was a child, they tried to fool me. Said the world, the man was lost and that his hell was real. Well, I've seen hell in Reno, and this world's one big old Catherine wheel spinning still. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. It takes a lot to change your plan, have a train to change your mind. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Oh, maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Messed that up. New song I'm working on from A Star Is Born movie. I usually don't do the singing in this band, and that's why. So yeah, that's through the Bose S1 in the standard settings, through the Boss VE8 that I used for the Emerald. It sounds really good. I'm finding I really like the nylon. It's very comfortable. The strings are very loose. Part of that, I'm sure, is because it's a short scale guitar. As a fingerstyle player, the tone you get out of the strings is radically changed by the position of your thumb. You know, I find if I can be very, you know what I mean? It can be very soft. It can have more attack. I'm used to really manhandling the strings on the steel string Emeralds. I'm going to have to back off on that quite a bit. The one downside, I can strum with this fairly well and get a decent tone. Can't get that I can get on the other ones is pick attack, simulated pick attack, which I do by pressing my thumb and finger together. I can a little bit, and that's more technique. I need to modify my technique. In our acoustic duo, we do play a lot of strumming songs, and I generally strum with just my thumb. Or if I need attack, then I press the thumb and fingers together. What I'm finding is I get a lot of string rattle on this because I'm doing it too hard. I need to really back off on that. But overall, it's very comfortable. It hangs nice. It's not neck heavy. You know, the lack of a body is compensated for by the mass of the center unit with the electronics in here. Still very lightweight, extremely comfortable. One nice thing about a thinner guitar, especially on my oversized midsection, is my shoulder sits way back down, so it's not coming out like this, which is comfortable for those of us with shoulder issues. And the older I get, the more my shoulders hurt. So yeah, I'll try it out at an open mic and report back on the thread that I put up on this to show how that, let you know how that worked. But I think overall, it's a great guitar for what it is. I mean, these are $650 new. You can pick them up used for $450, $5, you know, around there. It seems to be the going price. And for that kind of money, I think it's going to be a good tool to have. You know, it's going to what I am finding. One of the things I was wondering about, I wanted to know about nylon, because I can see another nylon or another custom Emerald order in the future, and I was wondering if I should go nylon. So now I know that I can do nylon, and I can also do the wider fretboards. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention on this is the neck width. This neck, I am very sensitive to necks to the point where both of my custom Emeralds have had to have custom neck shapes done to them because I don't like their stock one. I really like this stock neck. It's relatively thin. I'd say it's kind of D-shaped. You know, it's thin this way despite being wide that way. Very comfortable. And I can easily still come back over and get, I can get my thumb over there, which is usually the problem with a wider or a thicker neck. So yeah, great guitar. So far, loving it. I think it's probably only going to get better. I'll update if I find out anything better, plus or minus down the road. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging there. I know I tend to